So Mark, thank you, welcome to Nice. And perhaps you can tell us, well, we know why you're here, but if you can introduce both films, just give us a little bit of information about what you're working on now and how things are going generally. We'll just move on to other things. So the floor is over to you.
Okay, there's the first film that was screened yesterday was The Double Cross.
Yeah, that's the silent comedy, or silent movie.
Silent black and white comedy. Yeah. And that was shot a couple of years ago in my own house. And the great actor called James Northcott. And
got a nice house, by the way.
Yeah, well, yeah. It was obviously we did it up for the film.
Of course,
We don't have a bar like that.
No, unfortunately or fortunately.
Yeah. And then there's the Barber's Cut, which was already in the London Filmmakers Festival.
Yeah, I love it. I love them both. Yeah.
My third project I'm working on right now is called Behind the Mirror, and we were shooting last weekend, and we got a couple of shooting days to go. But
so it's still a way away from, because obviously you've got post now.
It's probably 2 to 3 months away from being finished. So I'd definitely like to enter it into the end of the year or next year.
We've got Berlin coming up in September, October, and then we've got Milan in November, December.
So might be in that.
Yeah.
I mean, I might end up, if I'm lucky, with 3 films.
Oh, the Triple Crown. Yeah. Who knows?
I don't know.
Yeah,
Probably not. Yeah. I mean, to be honest, the Barber's Cut's coming to an end now.
Yeah, I can sort of got that. Yeah, because all films for promotion have lifespans.
Yes, that's right.
And then, as I've come across time and again, as I mentioned to filmmakers today, I'm well aware that you've got to market them, promote them, but at the end of the day, you just want to be making. I don't mean like that, but you want to be making films.
Yeah.
But then you've got all the paraphernalia after it, which, don't get me wrong, is pretty what we're about. But filmmakers really want to be crafting their art, and making other things.
That's right. Yeah. Well, you move on as well.
Yeah.
I mean, the Barber's Cut's obviously been great fun, but you got to put it to rest. I mean, it's going to be released online in Halloween this year. So after that, there won't be any more festivals.
That's it. Yeah. And what about for the next film? Because the last two, the comedies. Is this one going to be a comedy or something?
Not less so. I mean, it's got some comedy in it. I don't know how, but it was supposed to be serious, but comedy somehow slipped in. I can't do without it, I guess.
But the thing is, I always think it's nice if you can have a little bit in there.
Yeah, there's a bit of comedy.
Yeah, I mean, Bond films were I'm not talking about the tongue-in-cheek ones, but even the late ones with the Daniel Craig, very serious, very cleverly made. There's always one or two little things funny, and I think that's important to do that if you can.
It starts with the funeral, the film.
Oh, right.
And so you got
gallows humour on this, is it?
Not really, but I don't know. You remember the person that died, and they had a sense of humour. And then if the people that remember that person can remember that sense of humour, it adds humour to the film. And it's not really gallows humour. It's a humour that person had. So people remember. So
chuck it in.
Chuck it in. Yeah. I mean, I think it's a great mix. Like great sadness or anything like that. If you throw humour at it, it makes it more bearable, isn't it?
Yeah, I think human beings by their nature. I think it helps people cope. I mean, obviously it has to be done at the right time.
That's right. It's subtle.
I'm
not disrespecting anyone. I hope.
No,
but it's subtle, Yeah.
And it's always gets back to the finance, of course, and raising the capital. I mean, that's always a struggle, I guess. And I guess it's the same with your new film as well. It's always fine because you've got to go out there and somehow get the money together to. I mean, how much of a struggle is that? It must be. I know it's an awful struggle, but
it is a struggle. I mean, you become like a deal maker. You get everything cheap or free, or you get to know people. To support you, give you a few quid, or also, when you need a set or equipment, and also I think what helps is if you've made something that people like, they're more likely to support you to do the next thing, right? So if you can show them something, and then they think, oh, that's cool, you say, well, I'm making another one, you know, would you support it? You know, if you find 100 people that give you £5, and you got £500, you know, then you can shoot for a day or two. You know what I mean? So that's how it works. I think just try and build up. But I think most you start off with family and friends. That's your core support.
Yeah.
You know, and then you go from there using social media and stuff.
But that, as I said to filmmakers before you, that in itself is a job in itself, isn't it? I mean, that's time.
It is. I mean, you wear so many hats. It's ridiculous, you know, because you're like a executive producer in the way that you have to find funding. Then you're your own producer, you're a production manager, you write and direct and all that.
Are you still, though, because I know obviously some of your background, and I know you've had a great career before this where you were employed, for argument's sake, and now you're your own man, your own company, but are you still a director for hire?
Yes, I am. I mean, I'm a freelancer. I was employed, but I was also freelance, you know. I was a freelance animator or animation director, also visual effects director, you know, doing green screen shoots for commercials and things like that. Yes, that's right. To support myself and my family, I have to work. But at the same time, my ambition is to make the films, but it doesn't mean I don't work or have to work.
No, so because you still need to support your family, don't you? Of course, right. But I suppose is the ultimate goal to, at some point, you just alluded to it, is to just eventually just like, no, all I'm now doing, you reach a level of success, I guess, a stupid question, where you just do your own thing. Well, this is what it's about.
That's the goal, yes. That's right.
Yeah, but of course it's getting them together, isn't it? It's just...
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, obviously you come to these events to network as well, and you try and get your film out there, you know. Yeah, I mean, it'd be ideal. We all want to meet someone that says, you know, here's £1 million or 5 million, you know, make a feature film. But that's the dream, you know. But I think making the films in itself is a big reward in itself, you know. So it's not like every time you finish a film, it's a huge accomplishment. I think that's why anyone who makes a film or ends up here, doesn't matter what the film is, you know, you totally congratulate anybody that because it's so tough.
Yeah, you know the pain.
Yeah, the pain and the sacrifice you make to do this on so many levels. So you know, I've got huge respect for anybody who's made a film. I mean, there's loads of people who talk about it. Very few people actually make it, and then there's even less that make it to a festival. So you know, I've got to respect anybody, any subject that's made a film.
And then using something like the Barber's Cut, because technically it's really well made, you know. The question I'm asking is not because I don't know the answer, because I kind of do, but it's more for the audience or anyone's watching this. Is, you know, there's no doubt people thinking, oh, yeah, this guy's made a great film. Why isn't it being shown on Channel 4, BBC 2? And there's a reason for that, or there's a struggle. But can you explain to people that may be watching this, obviously it's not that simple, and the hoops you need to jump through to get your film seen? Because I know why you're here, of course, but to promote it. But yeah, to try and explain how the process you have to go through to get this distributed, to get eyeballs on your film.
Well, I think there's different stages. You could do this in theory, but why isn't it on Channel 4? I mean, Channel 4 used to have short film programs that you know, promoted short film and things. I mean, there's not a great market for short films. You know, I mean,
you think there would be though? You think there are people crying out to see something new and innovative?
Yeah, but you know, the people that run the BBC, or the, you know, if they don't think there is, I guess I don't know. You know, you have to do it to try it, I guess. I mean, you'd think there is. I mean, more and more people watch online now.
Yeah, the VOD, I get that. Yeah.
So obviously YouTube, Vimeo, and things like that. I mean, I went down the route of you know, entering the film into film festivals to promote it. You know, you can use social media wise, you can win awards, you know, you can get your name out there, media wise and so on. You don't have to do that. You could try and sell it straight to
Amazon, I guess.
Amazon or Netflix or whatever. Now Netflix are thinking about doing that, or even putting money into programming. Sorry. So
right, okay. So Netflix produced short film or something.
Well, what did they make?
Which they do anyway, don't they?
They do, yeah.
Yeah, they do. In fact, no, but they do. They do that, don't they?
They do that.
But again, that's not going to be that simple, is it? I mean, you've got to be whatever I don't know. You've got to get them interested in a project. It's not quite as simple as that. It's a hell of a lot of work still required to get them to invest.
Also, you've got contracts to sign and rights, copyrights. As soon as money can be made out of your film, it gets incredibly complicated. You need a lawyer immediately, who specialises in that field.
Yeah, and it is also mindful. I mean, a simple example is with us. I mean, we've been asked a couple of times why we don't charge people to watch films. I don't know how other festivals work. You could never do that. I mean, how could you do that? How would you divvy up the money? And then you're getting into legal things,
Well, I've entered the Barber's Cut into a lot of festivals that sell tickets.
Yeah, it's...
and also a few festivals actually paid me $70 per screening, imagine.
Right,
yeah,
okay.
I mean, it exists. There's not many of them.
No, I bet there isn't many of them.
But they do exist. So, there's all kinds of festivals. It's like people said to me, how long's a short film? I said, well, how long's a piece of string? Because there's festivals that want 5 minutes or less, 15 minutes or less, 10 minutes or less, 30 minutes or less.
We keep it simple. We say 59.59.
Yeah.
Because I had some guy email me ages ago, and he just said, "I've got a film that's 3 minutes long. Can that be?" Yeah, of course it can be.
Yeah, it can be.
All right, it's getting a bit silly when someone was a minute long. Okay, okay, but yeah, I mean, technically you're meant to say it's fine, but really, it'd be mad. Really,
well, recently there was a horror comedy festival in Toronto where the Barber's Cut was screened, and the winner was a 30-second film.
Really?
Yeah, an animated film. I don't know.
Oh right, okay.
It was animated, but it was amazing, and it won. So congratulations. So, but it can be literally any length, really.
And how's the stress levels at the moment with what you're doing? Is everything okay?
Yeah, it's okay. I mean, I think it's going very well. I mean, every time you make a film, you learn a lot of lessons of what not to do as much as what to do. So
Yeah.
how to organise it. Also, the length of the film. I think the Double Cross was 17 and a bit minutes. That's a big chunk of film. The shorter your film, if it's around 5 or 6 minutes, because of the scheduling and a lot of festivals only being a day or two long, they don't like getting really 20-minute short films.
No, because they want to show dozens of them, don't they?
Yeah, they do. So I think that's probably a reason why it didn't get into as many films as the Barber's Cut, into as many festivals.
Yeah, but conversely, we had a film here. I won't say the film, it was 2.5 hours long, and they couldn't get into film festivals because it was too long. And I couldn't understand that.
Well, it's as much. They actually literally said to me, "We don't want to sacrifice that much time on your film because if we got 3 or 4 other films that are as good, we can support 3, 4 more directors. So why,
But that's crazy because you're like, well, hang on, I meant to make a film that's of quality.
I know, but that's what happens.
I suppose you said, no, we're never going to go down that road. I mean, it's all about, for the way it's judged with our panel, it's all about the quality. Of course, it has to be first and foremost. Okay, you could sit down, I'm sure, if we wanted to, could say, and be quite easy for us to say, okay, we're going to have 2-day screenings, any films under 10 minutes, they're not going to get in by virtue.
Yeah.
But then you're restricting audience and you're restricting, okay, you might be able to call it the horror, I don't know, a horror festival, but niche it out, but I think you're boxing yourself into the corner. You certainly don't want to go down that road. It's just madness. It really is utter madness. So the end of the Barber's Cut is coming up quite soon in terms of the promotion.
Yes.
And then it's all to. And what will be after this next one? I know you've got one plan. Is there something in the future you're looking at as well?
Well, I've got other films planned, but it also depends on what kind of finances I can raise. Obviously, to make a film, I need to go down a different route where you find an executive producer that you can attract, that likes the films, that sees a potential on a potential profit as well, on an audience.
Yeah.
You know, so you try and want to get to that stage, and so that's what I'm trying to do.
And it's all about the money again, of course. You know, that's the balance of what you're saying. I guess if they're investing, trying to find.
And also, or you can go down. You can try like Indiegogo or Kickstarter. You know.
Yeah, but I've heard it's just like I said a moment ago. It's the effort involved in trying to get on top of that, because that has been mentioned a few times. That's just a full-time role for someone.
It is, absolutely.
And it's sort of like this is their words. Like begging almost. And I think certainly the filmmakers have asked this question. Have all said, okay, you've got partial or all of it, but it's a hell of a job to do.
It is. Yeah, it's full time as well.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what the last filmmaker said. It would take me away from my role as a producer, and I have not got the time to do that. Yeah. It's impossible. So there you go.
No, I know a guy who specialises in that, and he's raised funds. He made 3 films through Indiegogo, and he said you've got to sacrifice 3 months just to prepare for that, your package, and then have a full-on communication with anyone who puts money in, updates, and everything, and then and then to wind it down, because you're promising hats for people and T-shirts and visits on the set and what have you, and you've got to organise all that, So and that's after you've raised the money.
Yeah. It's just
but the advantage is that there's no investors to satisfy afterwards. There's nobody saying, okay, where's my 15% of the profit? You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So that's what he said, that whatever money you have raised is yours to make the film. So that's the advantage.
That's the advantage, yeah.
So I haven't done it, so I
who knows?
Who knows? I might do it, and then I can tell you about it later, if it worked out or not.
Brilliant. Thanks so much.
All right,
Mark.
thanks.
As ever.